Hi guys, welcome back. And today we are discussing about Azure DevOps pipeline variables and depends on tag for stages. Okay, this we are going to discuss. Okay, in the last video session time, you can able to see there is a my pipeline got uh, stuck, right? We are not able to fetch that one. The stages got success. There is no issue without any issue. It got success. Okay, but the only problem we saw, right, there is a taking more time, right? Then there is a one issue. What issue we can able to see? This is one problem. If you are running for pipelines, if you're creating like pipelines, okay, with the same repository, now I'm creating for all my queries, but this particular DevOps master, right? In this DevOps master only, I'm hitting for all my codes. Whenever you hitting for the same repo, which is already in a pipeline is presented, existing pipeline is already presented. Whenever it is updated, the pipelines GitHub repo, whenever it is updated, what all the dependent pipelines are presented in that particular Azure, it also parallelly it will execute. Parallelly, it will execute. Then we have the problem, right? Then to overcome that, in real time, it will not be done. The same thing we can create a number of things like that. We can't. It will not allow. But in our practice time, we need to do some operations, right? For that, what I can able to do, and this one I have created, right? For this, I'm going to hit for first. I need to select that particular repo. Then we need to go to here, just settings, three dots. After three dots we have settings, and that setting there is a disable. Okay, and save. Okay, once you done that one, and it will not run for next time onwards, it will be disabled. Okay, maybe we can't see here, but you can see one more time, and here, and three dots and settings, and you can see disable, and YAML file got disabled. Okay, it will not run. Okay, no need to bother about it. Okay, now here we can able to edit now, and we have four variables, right? What variables, why variables is required? See, basically variables on real time what will happen, and here we are directly creating for all the things, right? Okay, just will copy this one, we'll create another new job comparing to do this all the things. Okay, this also I'll make for disable. We'll create for variables purpose a new job. Okay, new pipeline, and GitHub YAML, and DevOps master, and start pipelines. Okay, I'm pasting this one. Okay, and we can change here the name called variables, and depends on. Okay, this is my YAML file. Okay, now here what we can able to do before that. Okay, and here we can able to click for variables. Okay, here we are able to click this, the variables tag is presented at the button, and we need to click for variables, and here we need to use for new variable, and we need to mention for what is the name of your variable. Okay, anything you can able to mention, but that should be a unique, that should be a unique, and also you have to remember what name you have provided in that particular place. Okay, what name you have provided in a variable name location, you have to remember, and value of that particular variable, and both the things you have to remember. Okay, now I'm going to providing for my variable name as a for understanding purpose, I'm going to use for pipeline variables, pipeline variable. Okay, pipeline variable. Okay, this is my pipeline variable. And what name I can able to use? Pipeline variable for testing variable. Just I'm going to give that variable. Okay. And here we can able to click for save. And before saving, you can able to see. And if you use for any batch script, any using for if you use for any batch script, you need to use for two percentage and middle of that this is the name we need to provide. Okay. And if you're using for PowerShell scripting, and you have to use for dollar to curly braces, and you need to use for environment colon, and you need to use for variable. In case if you are using bash scripting, okay, bash scripting, for that you need to use for dollar and percentage. These symbols you have to use. Okay, this is the reference of your variable access. Okay, you can keep it this copy and keep it here and check properly. Okay, and this is the scripting format you have to use it. Okay, and these are the three different systems you can able to accept it. Okay, and now mine is bash scripts, right? And we can able to accept by using for this particular variable concept. Okay, and how we can able to accept, and first we need to save it. And this is my variable and variable value is presented. I'm saving it. Okay, I have saved my variable. You can see you selected for public report, but this is not a public repository. Go to project setting to change the visibility of the project. We'll see in and now here still we are not created, right? That's some of the things we have disabled, right? That's why it is showing like this, and we can able to access this particular one. Okay, these variables and stages, right? In the stage here the stage, and this is my job, and is a bash. Okay, bash echo here is my first job, right? In this place I'm going to replace it. Okay, that is my first job variable. And also we can able to see, and here I can able to mention for here first job. Okay, and also we can able to mention for here I'm going to remove for second one, not required there. Even you can mention no issues, and deployment location also we can able to mention. And this is my dev dependency. If you want, you can keep it. Otherwise, you can delete. There is no issue. Okay. And here we can able to see here, right? Uh, we can able to, if you want for environment variables access by using the dev and name and all, you can able to use like that also. Okay, how we can able to add, and this is my first build location, and this is my dev dependency, and here we can able to create for enter, and there is a variables tag. Okay, variables, and you need to hit it here, and here we need to use for environment, sorry, environment colon dev. Okay, and I can able to use hyphen dash colon, and I can provide for uh, echo deploy. Okay, and in the jobs we have, right, we can able to keep it the job, or else we can able to remove the job. No issues. But if you use for this particular environment and all, we need to remove the jobs also, and you can remove this job. 1 minute. The spaces, it will be so problem. We can create the similar format of my variables and like this. Okay. Now here it is QA and deployment QA variables. Okay. And here also we can create and the UAT environment is UAT. And maybe you will get for some question like why dependency is deleted, and you can use for here depends on field. Okay. See now data also it will work as expected. Okay, no issues. But we need to give the proper space. Otherwise, it will not work as expected. Okay. Now all the places we are able to access. Okay, but most of the time it will be question mark, and I'll use for UAT deployment. Okay, the naming convention purpose, QA deployment, and here is dev deployment. Okay, like this naming conventions we are using, and this is my first job deployment. Here one is job I created, and remaining places I created for environments, and then I'm accessing for those environment variable into all the locations. Okay, this is the simplest way. Okay, just I'm saving now, and here I'm going to use for variables. Okay, now I'm committing that file. Now created stage deployment must contain at least one job with a node. Okay, it is failed because of dependency job is not presented. You check this. Okay, it is expected for the pipeline. At least one job it is asking, and we can add it, no issues. Jobs and it is called QA dev deploy, and here is QA deploy. QAT. Okay. Now validating 25. And is a sequence was not expected. A sequence not expected. Variables environmental jobs. Okay, now we can see validation. Yeah, the pipelines like the structure which we are using that is not in the proper structure. That's what is showing because that variable and this job is related to variable side I mentioned, and it is asking for a proper location we have to mention. And I have adjusted. In case if you have any doubt, you can pull my repo and it will help you to check. Okay, and this is my Lokesh 7719 is my public repo, and there you can able to see for DevOps master. Okay, here also you can see for my variables pipelines one. Just now I committed the right. Those file you can see now. You can see here it will trigger. Okay, if you go for build one and you can see here it is started. It is yet to start. See, this is my image name and it is showing for some still something. Cancel timeout is 5 seconds and it will find for something which is presented one, and even it can once it is hit and if it is agent is presented then we can able to see for some logs. Okay, inside the logs our variables also will come. We need to wait a couple of minutes. Now agent is got presented. You can see the bash also it is presented here. Okay, and if you go for I think it is presented. See final output time. If you go for view raw logs, um, and here see echo the pipeline variable for testing variable. This is our variable we have created in our variable section, right? And that variable we are accepted in our YAML file. We are accepted, right? That file that is a variable we have created in a globally, and that globally to YAML file. Any YAML file you can able to access that global variable, but inside that particular YAML file you can able to access it up to that particular pipeline. Okay, this is a way we can able to access. Even you can see uh, wherever you use that particular job name, and it will provide you for those places. Okay, and I hope it here also it will come somewhere else. It's normal pipelines, and this is the bashing, and this bash you can able to pitch that particular one. Okay, in case if we are eating for remaining places also, that remaining location also it will start. See here QA deployment it is started because we have deployed only for this particular location, right? This is presented, that's why it is hitted immediately. And if you created for depends on dev deployment, if you hit for this one and until that deployment is completion, it will be presented. Okay, and if it is existed for same thing apply for remaining place also. We need to create for depends on, that depends on based upon that creation only it will create. Only here we have created, that's why it is hitted. After that it will check for remaining places, there is no dependency for remaining things, that's why it is automatically hitting for parallelly some alternative which is the one is available, and it is checking. Okay, and if you create for depends on, and it will create for that same thing. Now you can see all the things are passed. If you want to create for here, just only one place you have to change. Sorry. And we have created depends on build, right? This is the one depends on we have created. This depends on QA we need to mention. If you mention for QA, then it will wait for QA to complete. Okay, that particular stage. And the UA here also the QA we need to use for dev deployment one. If you create for dev deployment once it is completed, then only it will start for QA deployment. QA is completed, UAT will start. UAT is completed, prod it will post. Like this until that we can able to create n number of dependencies based upon our requirement. Okay, there is no issue for that. Okay, please try in your end also for that particular dependency creation for one by one. It will work for you as well. Okay, we'll meet you on a next video session. Thank you.